and welcome to Front Office Features. I am Rob Crane here with Chris Valente. Chris, hello again.
I was going to say hello again for the second time today, Rob. Good to see you.
It was actually good to see you like in real life today.
Yeah, we took a picture smiling behind our masks. I always do. I'm like realizing no one can see us smile, but we had
posted on Instagram and Twitter.
We went Instagram live, which seemed to not work.
No, I think the Instagram live worked, but since we were around a bunch of construction guys and there was a construction site going on, like we just it didn't go as long as it needed. I think it has to go for a minute for it to be able to go on Instagram IGTV, and ours was in a minute.
Got it. All right. Well, lesson learned. I don't know how many people got to log in between the 30 seconds we were live then, but
yeah, right. There's a couple people that went in there, but we probably should have done it for longer. But
no one's ever accused us of being Instagram experts.
No, that's why we have a CMO.
That's true.
From San Diego State, wonderful San Diego State. We love San Diego State. Alina. Anyway, so we long-winded way of saying you went to Polar Park today. I showed you around. What did you think?
It's going to be the nicest minor league ballpark in America. Just right now, it's obviously a lot of construction, but the amenities that you showed me that are going to exist in this ballpark, from a party decks to other party decks to more party decks to clubs to the suites to the views, like the Worcester Wall, which is the replica of the Green Monster out there. It's amazing. It's great. It's awesome. And the area is already like transformed. I mean, I know Worcester pretty well from my days of having to go there when the Worcester Sharks, when in my my Lowell Devil days. The area is great. I mean, we had a great lunch.
We did. We had a lunch together outside. Not outside. It was inside, but it was in like a big open space.
We had African food.
We did, and it's fantastic.
It was delicious. It was nice spice, vegetables, beef. Good. So, and they're going to be in your ballpark, right? You have a cool thing set up with the local restaurateurs to rotate in a marketplace.
Yeah. So it's like, have you ever seen the shipping containers that are like restaurants?
Yep.
So there's going to be one of those in the outfield, and it's going to be called A Taste of Worcester. And it's going
to. Is that your name?
No, it's a Charles Steinberg name.
Dr. Charles.
Dr. Charles, you can a former front office features guest.
We ran into him in his suite that was still being built.
We did run into him in his suite. Anyway, so it's a container that will have cooking equipment and all that good stuff. And these restaurants will bring in their food, right? We'll actually have to cook it. There's insurance reasons for that, right? It would be way too much money for them to come in. Anyway, they would be there for like a homestand, so like a week. And so 1 week you'll have Accra African food. The next week you can have an Italian place. We got, like an Asian ramen place that's really good. We got them in there. There's a handful of others that are going to be in there, and it's going to rotate through the entire season. So like, imagine being a season ticket holder and be like, oh, I wonder what's in A Taste of Worcester today. Am I going to get African food? Am I going to get Asian food? Am I going to get Italian food? Am I going to get, something else? I don't know. We'll figure it out.
That's unique. I've never heard of like a rotation of a location. So that's pretty cool.
So it's the biggest one. Hartford has one, and it's like a cart where they rotate through. But this one's much bigger and broader, and like it's going to have one of those, like it's going to be a landmark. It's a neighborhood. It's going to be a neighborhood in the ballpark. It's going to be
awesome. The ballpark, it was great. It was great to see you. 2, it was great to be out of my basement. 3, it was good to be inside of a ballpark. Felt like some normalcy back in my life, even though there was 16 inches of snow on the ground.
Yeah, right.
But being in the bowels of the ballpark and seeing the locker room and everything that's coming together.
The lockers were extremely tall.
So tall. Actually what's funny was you guys posted, or someone posted a picture of the lockers today. And one of the writers,
like 10 feet tall.
Right. One of the writers said, oh, that's going to be an issue because they remembered at JetBlue Park when they put in the exact same lockers that Benintendi. He just got traded. That's on my mind. Pedroia and Ortiz hated it, and Pedroia took a power drill and took the door off because it kept hitting everybody in the head. And I was like, unless Dikembe Mutombo is on the Worcester Red Sox, those doors aren't hitting anybody in the head. Those things are so. I've never seen lockers that big in my life.
I wonder if it's like that it's actually nothing above there, or it's like, super storage or something like that.
Or just like a logo, or like a logo.
Yeah, like something artistic that's going up there, because it doesn't make sense of how tall they were.
You can't reach it. You can't.
There's no way. It's 10 feet off the ground. You couldn't slam dunk a basketball in there.
No, it's like an NBA locker. It would be an NBA locker room.
So knowing, how Janet Marie Smith thinks of every detail, I have a feeling that there's some sort of artistic thing that we're just like, hey, those are tall. And she's like, yeah, but those will be, when you combine them all together, you put the carpet in, you paint them, you graphic them, it'll look like, something crazy. So that's
Have you ever been in the Red Sox clubhouse?
I have not, actually.
It is
tiny, right?
So tiny. Like the Woo Sox is nicer and bigger.
Yeah, they always said that the McCoy locker room, the McCoy, baseball doesn't have locker rooms; they have clubhouses.
Yeah, sorry, yes,
correct. So in the McCoy clubhouse, though old and ancient, and the carpet was held down by black duct tape, it was like big and spacious. Like it was a nice, like you'd say, that was a nice clubhouse. Besides like the leaky roofs and the black duct tape holding the carpet down.
And then the visiting clubhouse in Fenway is even smaller. You wouldn't believe it's a Major League Baseball clubhouse. There's no like what I would call amenities in any of them.
There's nowhere to go either. It's not like you can like blow out walls.
No, like the biggest space is probably the training area in the Red Sox. Even like the bathrooms look like they're from like the 60s. It's like weird. It's like nothing's been upgraded at all, other than like their lockers and. It's not what you'd ever expect.
Well, you'll have to take me down there one time when we.
Yeah, it's a 3-second tour. You walk up,
3-second tour.
You walk in up. There's a room. All right, time to go. Like there's nothing really to see.
Yeah,
but it's more shocking to people when they say like, "This is it." And you're like, "Yeah, that's about it."
That's it.
It's all the room we got. Not much more you can do about it.
Yeah, that's
Plus, human beings were a lot smaller back in the 1900s. So.
Yeah, right. It opened when the Titanic sank.
The day the Titanic sank is the day Fenway Park opened. That is correct.
What a crazy day.
Yeah, that's where they said it was cursed from day one, right? So
yeah, right.
Not the best association with historical events, but since the curse has been broken since 2004, so we won't talk about the curse anymore.
Yeah, because it's over. Anyway, I'm glad you liked the ballpark, though. It was kind of fun to take you around, though it was snowy, so couldn't get like the full-fledged tour. But it was good.
And I might see you again next week.
Yeah, right. Sure, come on down. You're gonna see it again.
We have a meeting. We have an actual meeting with people.
We have
next
a
week,
business meeting on next week that we can go through. So I don't know. It's been fun to go and see. Like I said, this is the third one for me. Third minor league baseball park that I've been a part of. They're all different, right? They're all their own animals. They all have their own different challenges. They all have their own, here's a good example. Like the Omaha Challenge, we're building in the middle of a cornfield. We were literally the first thing there. They were building roads, and because there was nothing there, right? There was literally nothing there. We were in the middle of a cornfield.
I would not expect anything less of where you're going to build an Omaha and then in a cornfield.
Right. And then in Scranton, we had to play the entire season on the road because we tore down the old ballpark and built literally on the exact same spot, right? So there's a challenge there. And then here, it's a pandemic. And, besides the typical challenges of building a ballpark, right? So each one has its own story. Each one has its own challenges. Each one is unique. And it still kind of shocks me that, it's three of them and I'm 39 years old.
I'm going to bet this one turns out to be the nicest just for the simple fact that the other ones didn't have essentially a Hall of Fame architect who redesigned Fenway Park, Camden Yards, and Dodger Stadium and Janet Marie Smith. And then Larry Lucchino. This ballpark, I can't wait to see its completion because it's going to be immaculate. It'll be nicer than some major league parks is what I'll bet. I'm almost positive based on
it's going to be pretty. It's going to be nice. It's going to be really nice. I think that our, I don't know, it's going to be nice. Like you just walk around, you're like, I can see how this is going to be good.
Some of the bars areas you guys got, like it's just,
you can drink there. I promise you that.
No, there's some stuff. Yeah, you definitely have enough beer areas, but like there's just amenities that some, like I said, major league parks don't have and aren't even capable of having. Specifically ours, Fenway can't do what you guys have done. The open concourse, love it. Like love that. I'm gonna walk around the ballpark. It's great. You guys, phenomenal job.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. I did get a little each time I go there, I get a little lost like underneath because I don't know where everything is quite yet. And it all kind of looks the same. So I was like, where the hell am I?
It is, and it's gigantic. It's like there's a lot
Underneath it.
underneath.
Underneath
Yeah.
there's a lot of hall. It's like a little mouse trap.
It is weird. Like it's not open up at all down there. It's just little hallways that go to little hallways that go to little hallways.
Yeah, it was definitely like that.
It's like a
So,
labyrinth. It definitely was felt like a labyrinth down there.
but it's also you look at it and it's like, the season starts in like 2 months.
Yeah, I'm like, this thing's gonna be ready in 2 months. Like, there's no walls, so like,
There's no walls. There's no nothing. It's gonna be ready in 2 months.
you're gonna play.
It's what they
baseball?
say. They say it's gonna be fine. So I have nothing but to.
Speaking of, so positive sports news. We were talking about what the hell we're gonna talk about. You see, New York City announced that
10%.
they're gonna start like 10%. So the Rangers and Knicks are gonna start having 2,000 people at the Garden.
Good for them. Good for them.
It's good.
It's
That's good for us. Good for us. That's
Yeah,
good
that's-
news because if they start with 2,000 now, maybe by then they're up to like 6,000, 7,000. So for us outdoor, maybe we're looking at having a lot more people.
Yeah, the one thing I've been going through this with a fine tooth comb, and shout out to Matt Harper, who was a fill-in guest for us. He's been doing a lot of great work. The hard part is no matter, they could say that it's 80%, but as long as you have to abide by social distance rules, you only can get so many people in the seating bowl anyways, because you have to seat them 6 feet apart.
Exactly.
Right. So
that's the issue.
So no matter what, you're going to run into a cap per se, because there's just not enough seats.
Well, our state, which you're now dealing with because you have your ballpark up here, got graded by the Harvard Business Review today of like an F for rollout for vaccines. It's so slow and so bad. It's been pretty bad.
Really?
Like we're 48th in per capita for vaccines in the country.
God.
Yeah. By the way, Moderna is here. So
yeah, it's like down the street.
It's just like literally here. You can't. I'm not going to get into this because I'm already angry enough about it. But like, it's been bad. Like nobody knows what to do. No one where you can get it. Like other than Fenway and Gillette, and those will book up in seconds. It's just we're not going to talk about this because it'll get me angry. It'll go off of. It's been really slow here. We're still at like 75 plus. We haven't even moved on past people at 70. And like there was an article they threw out 2,000 more vaccines because they just don't know what to do with them because no one's coming to get them because they don't know how to get there.
What?
It's a disaster. It's a disaster. Epic proportion disaster.
No bueno.
They changed the rule now that if you bring an elderly person to go get their shot, you can get your shot too, no matter who you are. I'm like, wait, what? Like what?
What?
Yes, that's the new rule. You can bring an elderly person to go get their shot, and while you're there, you can get a shot too.
Yeah, I'd just be like, bringing elderly people. Let's
People
go.
are going to be scalping elderly people on Craigslist. We'll pay
Hey, I'm 75.
$2,000.
They're going to be making fake IDs to be 75 years old.
Grandma, let's go get your 14th shot. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
when you were 20, you'd be like, I need my fake ID so I can be 21. Here, you're gonna be like, you're 74. I can get you a fake ID, make you 75.
Yeah, exactly. That's what a business. Oh yeah. So yeah, I don't want to talk about vaccines because up here it's driving me crazy. Like, but anyway,
can we talk about something you want to? You said drive you crazy. Can I say? So there's something we need to talk about.
Yeah, this is just weird.
Drives me nuts, crazy. Stop it, everybody.
I don't understand. Like it's weird, and I think look, we're both dads. We're both dads.
Parents.
Yeah, like we understand you want to do anything for your child to help them. This doesn't help them, in my opinion. This sends a bad message.
We haven't said anything. So here's what drives me nuts. I was just yelling about it because we knew what we were talking about, but our listeners have no idea what we're talking about.
They don't need to know what we're talking about.
What the hell are they? What the hell do they need to know? Anyway, we have gotten I have gotten, Chris got one this week, I got this week, from parents reaching out and saying something of the sort of like, hey, my kid who, they don't know me or you. Hey, my kid likes sports. They should have a job. Can they reach out to you or something of the
No.
nature? I want to say, no. What are you doing? You've raised a terrible kid because they can't reach out by themselves. You do it yourself. God damn it. Don't have your parents do your dirty work.
The only caveat is if you know the person, like if your
It's different.
parent knows
It's different.
me, completely different. Random reach
Completely
out on
different.
LinkedIn is so weird to me. Like,
oh, it's so weird.
I just automatically have a bad opinion of your kid.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
Like
Same.
your son or daughter isn't capable of sending this exact same note. Like, if you want to coach your kid, like if I was to sit down with Zach, I'd be like, Zach, I'm gonna sit down with you right now, and this is who you're gonna reach out to, and this is what you're gonna say, but you're gonna send it. Like, if you're in college, high school, different story. Like, high school doesn't know what the hell networking is. Like, fine, but college or even post college, and you're just randomly networking for your kid, I just don't. I don't get that. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're just giving me that impression that this person is not a go-getter and is lazy. It doesn't really.
And entitled.
Yeah, and again, the parents probably have the utmost intentions of helping. Understood that. I'm telling you, it's sending a very weird message to the person on the other end of it, because I'm like, why didn't your son or daughter just send the exact same note? Like, I just all of a sudden have this negative opinion of your child, because, and they might be great, and they might not even know your dad or your mom are doing this.
Yeah, don't guess what I did for you today, son? I sent a note to the Fenway sports guy, and he's going to get
what
back
do you
to
tell
you.
your kid? What do you tell
what
your
are you
kid?
Doing? What are you doing?
I'd be like, Dad, what did you do? Like, what am I supposed to say to this person? They probably think I'm a loser.
Like, right? Because you are. In my head, you are. You're a loser if your parents are reaching out, and I don't know who the hell you are.
The person might not even know your dad's doing it. That's the problem, right? Like, so like, it's more on the parent.
It's totally on the parent. The kids scot-free, have nothing to do with the kids, but the parent, what are you doing? This is so stupid.
Yes. Again, if it's a client, partner, colleague who knows me or even, so this was the other thing. The one that reached out to me, the screenshot I sent you, we had 5 mutual connections. This person who reached out to me. Go to one of our mutual connections and say, hey, can you introduce so-and-so to me or to Chris? Like, right? Like, that would be a different way to go about it. Not this weird, random, blind outreach to say, my kid wants to work in sports. Can you talk to them? Like, I'm like, wait. And this is not the first time that's ever happened to me. It's like,
oh no, you know what's funny? This is a multiple thing.
So you'd say no. I'm going to say yes.
You're going to say what?
I'll say, yeah, I'll talk to your kid. You'll say no. I know.
No, of course not. No, I want to tell you to go pound sand.
Yeah, I know.
Like, get out of my life. There are other times where we get phone calls about parents calling on behalf of their kids who already work for us about like,
wait, whoa, slow down.
Yeah,
you have parents who call you for kids who already work for, like,
totally
interns or part-timers or whatever.
Everything I've had happen part-timers, whether they say something of the like, I'm sorry, little Johnny can't work on Saturday, and I'm calling to tell him that they can't work. I have Johnny call. Why are you calling me?
So weird.
So little Johnny, I think he worked an extra 4 hours that's not on his paycheck. Can you do that? Have John, whatever, call me, right? Like, my son applied. This is one we get all the time. My daughter applied for a job. Where's the application status of that? Stop it. If your parents, if you ever told your parents to do this, right, and be like, hey, can you call the Worcester Red Sox or the Boston Red Sox, and can you just check where my application status is? I don't want to do it. The parents are blah blah.
I would be out on the street
because nothing would happen every time I get one of those. I want to just like, I try to be nice and be like, no, I want to get off the phone so fast when they call about that. And I just want to be done. Like, no, we haven't checked it. Have your kid call.
I'm gonna say yes.
Are you going to talk to the parent? Are you going to talk to the
I'm not
kid?
gonna talk to the parent. I'll talk to the kid. I'll talk to the kid. Because I can't punish this kid. I can't. I just think the parent has already set a bad precedent in my mind. And look, the kid might be a very lovely kid. And when I talk to that college student, here's the problem. I say kid, it's a college student. That's what
They're an adult. They're an adult. They're 18
adult.
years old.
Yeah,
At least 18, right? You be 21 years old.
Like,
you can go drink, but you can't reach out to me. What are you talking about?
Look, I understand getting a lot of college kids to get off their butt and network is probably a challenge. I mean, you dealt with it with your sisters, right? Like, hey, like I'm in the business. Like, let me help you. Like,
no, they're not going to do that.
So, but you wouldn't start sending emails to random strangers in the business.
No, of course not. Imagine that. No,
you would send an email to me and say, "Can you talk to them?" But you wouldn't send an email to like a random.
I barely would do that. I barely would do that.
You wouldn't reach out to Tim Lewicki of Oakview Group and be like, "Hey, Tim, never met you before, but my sisters want to work in sports. Can you have a conversation with her?" You'd be like,
yeah, right.
No freaking way.
What
you would do is say, "Hey, girls, here's Tim Lewicki's email. You should send him this note and try and network with him." You wouldn't send a note for them.
No, and I'd be happy to proofread it. Let me help you walk through what this email should look like. Let me do this. But like, the parent stuff drives me crazy.
Like they wonder what look, obviously this is painting a broad stroke brush, but they wonder why sometimes kids are lazy. I'm like, if you're doing everything for them,
they're gonna be lazy. They're gonna be lazy.
Yeah. They're gonna be so lazy.
Oh my goodness. It is.
I want to be like, so if your kid gets a job with us, are you gonna like send their sales, pick up the phone and do ticket sales calls for them too? Like, hey, my son wants to sell. Hey, by the way, my son works for the Worcester Red Sox. They're looking to sell mini plans. You mind if I connect you with them? Sir, this is a Wendy's. I don't know. Who are you calling?
What are you talking about? Oh, it's setting totally wrong precedent. Oh, here, Johnny, here's your little lunch to go to work today.
Oh my, yeah. I mean, but I can't even get Rachel to make me lunch to go to work. If I was just, never mind, Rachel, we're going to edit that out. So I didn't say that. Oh man. I'm having a beer right now, a Magic Hat, because I bought beer for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Didn't drink it all?
I never drink beer. No, I bought a 6-pack and I rarely drink beer, and I had 2 left over. So I had one last night and one today. I don't mind. Do you like Magic Hat?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, I think it's fine. I'm
Speaking of Super Bowl.
Super Bowl stunk.
Oh, go ahead. No, talk.
What do you want to talk about? Beer first? Where do you want to go?
Beer. Yeah, we're on the Super Bowl. Let's talk about beer.
Beer.
No, let's talk about beer.
The only thing I was saying that I like right now, I'm on a kick of hazy IPAs, like New England style IPAs.
Yeah. No,
that's all I wanted to say.
I can't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of off the IPA kick right now.
I can understand that, right? Our good friends at Wormtown make a brown ale. It's called Blizzard of 78. Excellent.
See, I'd be down with that more right now, like a winter.
Yeah,
nice winter beer.
They call it the official beer snow.
So Super Bowl,
stunk.
We literally, it's funny. You and I always do this. We talk about what should we talk about tonight. The Super Bowl happened. Let's talk about
the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl happened, and we like our little prep thing that we did for 3 seconons. We didn't talk about the Super Bowl at all.
It didn't come up. And we'll turn it into a sports business discussion, among other things. So let's start with the first elephant in the room of how old I am. I had to look up who The Weeknd was because the halftime act. I found out I did know 2 of his songs. I did, like, when I was like going through Apple Music and playing. I was like, oh yeah, I've heard these. Like, I don't listen to radio ever.
No, me.
So I don't know top 40, but I was like, oh yeah, I've heard these. I think I heard them in the gym at some point. Do you know he spent $7 million on top of the $10 million he was allotted from the NFL? So the production was $17 million. He spent $7 million of his own money. It was $17 million for that production. I watched that, and like, not to sound like grandpa right now, I didn't hate it, but I wasn't like, oh my God, this is so cool. It was fine. But I was like, you spent $17 $15 million on this. Like, this is
Yeah.
a joke.
I saw some of it, but it was like bedtime for the kids. So I was like putting the kids to bed at that time. And then I like came out and I caught like the end of it.
When they were wearing jock straps on their face.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know.
It was like like I look again. It wasn't directed towards us as an audience,
No, of
but
course not.
I feel like it should always be able to be a mix of appealing to the older crowd and the younger crowd because it could be entertaining. I just didn't even find it like entertaining. It wasn't like I didn't like the music. It was just like, like
The only thing, the first question I asked my wife when she was watching it before I was, I said, "Did he come out with glasses on?" And she was like, "Yes." I said, "Great," because that was part of like a
prop bet.
that we all put money into. And he did, and I had yes. So that was good. But I didn't. It was like the aggregate of all like the prop bets. There's like 40 of them that we all put like $20 in. Whoever got the most points right won the money. I did not win. And when they announced the weekend was doing this for maybe a year or so ago or whatever, however long ago they announced the Super Bowl halftime show, I said, "Oh, I never heard of that band."
Well, the other thing too was it was the first time I forget, and they said how many years there was no even special guest. It was just him.
Yeah, and I think one of the prop bets was Ariana Grande was going to come out, and I said no.
That wouldn't have made it better for me either, by the way. But it was the taking aside the fact that I don't really know the weekend, or I don't celebrate his catalog. I just couldn't get over the fact that he spent $7 million of his own money.
No idea.
For the production on top of the $10 million they give you as an allotment, because the $10 million wasn't enough. It felt gross to me. Like, you can't find something better to spend $7 million on. Like,
hey,
donate it.
What did take me through this? At least either yesterday or today, they still haven't announced the ratings because something happened with Nielsen or something.
No, the ratings are out.
But I would have swore I heard on Sports Business Journal that they said the ratings were like delayed or something.
I've read articles. So Boston had a higher rating than Tampa.
It's insane.
Boston had a higher rating than Tampa Bay.
The city's sports craze. This New England is sports craze. They obviously love Brady.
So we're gonna get to Brady in a second, because I don't know if you saw the Tom Brady stuff today, but anyway,
he was hammered.
He threw the trophy across.
I did. I saw that. Good for him.
He was hammered, and then did you see his tweet?
Yeah, it was like it made
nothing
no
to
sense.
see here, a little avocado tequila or something like that.
Yeah, but there's like a whole bunch of misspelled words.
I think he did that on purpose. I'm
okay.
guessing, because I think he was, or I honestly don't think he probably did it. Someone was probably like on his account, because he's hammered. He probably isn't even awake right now. He was being carried off the boat. But the Super Bowl ads, because let's go back to sports business. They, I mean, I feel like people say this every year now. I also hate the fact that you can see them before the game. There was very few that were like
great
Super Bowl worthy. So Rocket Mortgage, though, for the first time a company's ever had this happen, had the number 1 and the number 2 ad score. So they won the Super Bowl. The one with the two with Tracy Morgan. They had 1 and 2 rated Super Bowl ads.
Wow. Good for them.
Good for them. There were some weird ones. There were some
first time Budweiser never did it.
Right, but Bud Light did, and the Bud Light one bombed.
Yeah, the Legends one.
Yeah, and then the Will Ferrell one I thought was funny with Norway. I thought that was pretty funny.
That was GM, right?
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But overall, yeah, just the game stunk. Ratings were way down overall. But I know you were asking, they were down like 8% overall year over year. They were only up in like 4 markets across the country.
Yeah, it's just it's weird. It didn't feel, so I was talking to somebody the day after. It didn't feel like the Super Bowl.
Well, so I'm shocked the ratings were down, but I thought they were going to be historical because everyone was in their own home, so more TVs were turned on.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, there's no parties, no one's at bars.
Literally no build up to it, right? Because there was no Super Bowl week.
There was no Super Bowl week.
It just felt like the random regular season football game.
Rachel crushed the menu. She did a great job for a 2-person menu because our kids aren't obviously eating what we're eating for Super Bowl. And like, it was fine. Like, we had a good time, but it was just like, it was weird. Like, I had absolutely no Super Bowl squares for the first time probably in my life. I
Really?
didn't have a Super Bowl square because we're not in the office. There's no one's doing
Yeah,
square.
I didn't have a Super Bowl square either. The only thing I did was those prop bet things.
You
Those
still
through
can't bet
Amy's
in
way.
Massachusetts. You still can't bet in Massachusetts. So I had no real action on the game. And the game stunk. And Mahomes is a magician, by the way. Like, I know they got lit up, but some of the throws he was making was like
I don't know how he did it.
mind-boggling. Like,
There was
falling
one he looked
down.
like Bobby Orr.
Yeah, falling down and hit the guy in the face mask. Should have been a touchdown. Would have been the greatest touchdown of all time. But yeah, it just overall feel, it was weird. The stadium looked good because of all the cutouts,
Yeah.
but it just didn't feel like
I'm
the Super Bowl. To your
so
point.
ready for this to be done so that we can just like be celebrating like we normally would.
Yes, I agree.
I'm done.
And we're there. We're getting there. Massachusetts isn't, but we're getting there. As a society,
Yeah,
we're
right.
we're getting there. But yeah. So Super Bowl. But here I will say this: congratulations to the NFL
They got through it.
with pretty. Other than the Steelers having to move like 14 different games, like
Yeah, right.
everyone
And it
else,
was never them. It was always the team that they were playing.
I know. They got through it and they played a Super Bowl with the greatest quarterback of all time versus the best quarterback in the league. And hey, when the season started in the middle of September, we were all like, what the hell is going on? There's no way. And they got through it.
They did. And speaking of the greatest, let's talk about the greatest front office features partner of all time. And this front office feature is brought to you by our great, wonderful, spectacular, pick a different word, partners with San Diego State University Sports MBA program. Whether you're currently in a sports role or you're looking to give your skills a boost or you want to pivot to a career in sports, the sports-focused MBA at SDSU can help you get there. Join SDSU's 400-plus alumni with exciting roles in college athletics, pro sports, agency, brands, and many more segments of the industry by enrolling in the next cohort of SDSU Sports MBA students this fall. Applications are open now through March 1st, so it's like 2 or 3 weeks away. And due to the COVID-19 adjustment, this year only, there is no GMAT or GRE required. To attend an information session, speak to an alum, or start your application, visit sdsu.edu/sports MBA. sdsu.edu/sports MBA. And next week, we got a thing.
We do have a thing.
We got a thing with them.
We are going to be bestowing our knowledge onto the future sports executives who will be attending San Diego State University.
Yeah, that should be fun. So please go check out sdsu.edu/sports MBA. There's no GMATs, no GREs, and you can go to like you'll learn more, learn about one of the great sports MBA programs, post-grad degrees there is in the country. It's San Diego State is like legit.
Oh yes, the program is pumping out executives. We've had many of them on this podcast, from Stanley Cup winners to Super Bowl winners to analytics folks. It's definitely. Our CMO went to San Diego State, so yes, and it will be fun. We will be tweeting, LinkedIning, Instagramming, Facebooking the details to sign up. There'll be a registration form that will be coming out next Tuesday at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock Eastern.
Our time. Yeah.
9 o'clock Eastern. We gotta let the West Coasters get off the beach and off the course to be able to come in to hear and talk to us. So looking forward to that. I make sure I remind me to tell my wife about that, because she'll probably hear about it on the podcast and I'll get in trouble. So.
Yeah, it's because we'll have Tuesday night, Wednesday night. But anyways, San Diego State, spectacular, wonderful, great place.
Great partners, great partners. I'm jealous of all the people who will be attending there in the fall.
You know what I was impressed with when we talked to Scott, and everything he thinks about is the way to focus your education to get a job. right? It wasn't just this information gathering. It was, how do I take this so that I can go work there? Does that make sense? It's the difference of approaches.
Yeah, because he even talked about what we want to discuss next week is providing guidance on what you're going to do. So when you go to apply for a job with Rob Crane, and what projects do you work on while you're at San Diego State, that's going to correlate you into getting that job. So yes, it's not like, hey, check the box, you got an MBA, you went to San Diego, have fun, see you later. It's no, we're actually going to prepare you for the real world. And he's adjusted his curriculum. I mean, we had an interview. He adjusted his curriculum over the years to change and evolve as the industry's evolved. So you're going to one of the better programs in the country. You're going to the best place to live in the country. There's no debate about that. And you're getting a Scott Minto who is invested in your future, which is usually what you sometimes don't get when you pay for all those tuitions, right? Like you're like, oh, yep, guy, man, get your degree, see you later. Like he clearly cares about his students. So that alone is worth the investment in your future if you decide to go and get your sports MBA.
Totally agree. San Diego State, sdsu.edu/sports MBA.
Aztecs, baby. Aztecs.
I got to get some gear.
We do need to get. I'll have my parents go find some. They're living. They got nothing to do while they're on retirement out there.
Play golf. Does your dad play golf or mom play golf?
My mom does not. My dad used to. He can't anymore. His shoulder's shot.
Gotcha. So anyway, that would that's like my worst nightmare. If I go to hell, they're gonna be like, you're gonna live on Augusta, but you can't play.
That would be your hell.
Like just not being able to play golf and like giving that, it would just suck.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, no, I hope that my body doesn't break down in retirement where I can still play golf, but because I pretty much having to give it up right now. But speaking of golf, so not oddly enough, but Jake Olson is
an amazing golfer,
which doesn't make me feel good about my golf game, by the way. I have no excuse. He's blind.
What a great interview you did. How did that feel? Talk about about the interview in the podcast that dropped on Tuesday.
Yeah,
that was just a couple days ago.
It was a very easy interview for numerous reasons. One, Jake and his story. Two, Daniel and Noah being so young and literally taking the bull by the horns and creating a sports business that has. I mean, if you go to their website, I don't know if you've checked it out. They have like every celebrity athlete under the sun that you can go book through Engage. And they started in their college dorm room and have evolved it into this thriving sports business. And Jake, which they definitely used as the, I don't even know what to call it, the catalyst, I guess, to all of this based on people wanted to have Jake speak and be an inspirational speaker and book him. His story, if that doesn't make you just kind of like realize it could be worse and you don't really have an excuse.
He lost one of his eye due to cancer. I think what he said when he's 7 and the other one at like 12.
12. Yep. So he's fully blind by 12 years old. And he went through a rough patch, as he mentioned, but he realized that, look, I can do one or two things. I can let this get me down, or I can go still live my life. And I'm going to not let this stop me from doing the things I love, which is play sports. He played Division I football at the University of South California for the Trojans. He was like close with Pete Carroll, eventually got onto the team when Pete was gone, walked on the field and played. He like took snaps as a long snapper.
Yeah, he was like a legit long snapper in high school too. Like those colleges looking at him.
He went to a big time high school and then he played and fulfilled his dream. Plays golf and then has an amazing business and is a president of a company. So if anybody out there is listening, and most of our listeners are people who have had a rough year, everyone in our industry has, or have looked for internships, you cannot let anything get in your way. Clearly, this is a person that had as much adversity as one could face. Going blind is very different than being born blind, right? There's a big difference, huge difference. He was 12 years old. Like that's a lot for a 12-year-old to take in. I think he's like 24. That's only 12 years ago. Think about what he's taken and accomplished in the last 12 years of his life.
Yeah. 12 years ago. Jeez, oh man. When you put it like that, I was in Omaha, Nebraska, like just selling tickets or selling sponsorships or doing that, right?
Feral cats.
No, that's Battle Creek.
Oh, Battle Creek.
That was Battle Creek.
But so yeah, I mean, and then Daniel and Noah kind of just building a business.
It was great.
It was a front office feature that we like. When I was doing this interview, I just sat back and listened and was like, I don't need to really do much here because they are telling the story that you and I tell every week. And Jake, obviously, and I gotta put out some of his, if people haven't seen it, the 30 for 30 like clips on him. The Fox Sports did a clip on him. It's unbelievable. And it's just an inspiration to all of us because if you can overcome that, you can overcome anything.
It was great, and you did a great job doing it. I remember I had to bail like at the last minute. I was like, sorry, I can't be there. Anyway,
I saw why today. You need to put up some drywall.
Yeah, it needs to be a drywall hanger. Anyway, you did a great job with that. I thought it was very good, and it was, it was like, anybody can do anything. I know that sounds cliche and some other stuff, but like, I don't know. You and I talk a lot on this podcast. Go and do something, right?
Mm-hmm.
They started from their college dorm room, right? You can do it. You just got to be committed.
Yeah, like after having that interview, I'm sure it'll wear off. It's like, look, it's just natural. You hear that interview and you go through your day and you're like, I really don't have too much to complain about right now.
Yeah, right.
It's like there's it could be a lot worse, and people have it way worse than all of us do in some capacity. So just sometimes, as hard as this has been for all of us to get through, just sometimes pinch yourself and remind you it could be worse. It's going to be better. We're already on the right path. We keep talking about this positivity train, keep rolling. Sports is coming back. The Super Bowl just happened. Baseball spring training starts in a week. 2021 by the end of the year is going to look a lot different than it did the end of 2020. So chin up, pick up your boots, strap on, do what you need to do and go, right? Like, don't wait. Stop sitting around. Make it happen for yourself. There's no time like today.
I agree. It was inspiring in the fact that it's just kind of like there's no excuses, right? There's, let me tell you, Jake Olson's mom or dad was not calling somebody, right? They were not calling the investors to invest in their company. I love the first story is that they just like, I'm going to give you whatever money you need. You don't even have to go through it. And it was like, okay.
Yeah. How do we get that for front office features? I almost want to ask, like, can we meet this sugar daddy that you called?
Yeah. But there was no, he just went and did it himself. And, has to take a lot of self-confidence too. Like, I'm going to go do this. And I'm going to go, and there's nothing that's going to stop me. And that takes a lot of confidence to do that. It also takes a lot of support too.
Confidence and courage, right? And
yeah, of course,
it's okay to fail. That's the other thing. What we tell people, like, it's okay to take a risk, go take a job, and if you fail, that's okay too. You learn, you pick yourself up, and you go on to the next thing. That's life. Like, you're not going to be
a death sentence.
No, you're not going to have 100% success rate on everything you do. That's just not possible. You're going to have instances where there's roadblocks, or you may move to a new city and you're like, I hate this place, I need to leave. That's okay. You can leave. There's nothing restricting you from leaving, but you need to start somewhere, and you need to be able to believe in yourself that you have the ability to go and do the job that you're applying for and that you're offered. You just got to get off your butt and go do it though. And stop thinking and playing games in your head about what ifs. We talk about that all the time. The what if game. Stop that. Just go. Hit record, make your So quick shout out to Adam and Lyle, who I had on when I did the trip down memory lane. They enjoyed coming on so much. They started a podcast this week. They have interviews lined up. They're doing it on something very different. Like, it's a cool concept. You'll probably actually appreciate this. It's called like the Fan Factory, where they're interviewing super fans and talking to them about why do you love this single A baseball team and go to every game, like stuff like that, like where it's behind the psychology and sociology of a super fan. So, but
the fans shorts for what? Fanatic, right? So they gotta be.
So, but they just went and they're doing it. And like, now they have an Instagram and they have a podcast and they learn GarageBand, but they had to start somewhere. They just do it, right? Like, we just tell people we weren't geniuses on this.
That's how this thing started. I mean, I can't tell you how many YouTube videos I watched on like, how do I clip in GarageBand? How do I think How do I start a podcast? I Googled. I don't know.
Yeah. No, and
I
then
have no idea.
I've Googled, how do you grow a podcast? How do you market a podcast? Like, I don't know. Never had a podcast. And then I'm sure we'll learn things from this when we do
We'll
our.
still figure it out.
Yeah. By the way, I was thinking about this from a nostalgia. We're like episode 123. That is bonkers.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of
That's a lot.
That is bonkers.
So many freaking podcasts.
I don't know why I just used the word bonkers, by the way. I don't use that word.
I don't use that word.
I don't know where it came from.
I don't know.
I usually say bananas. I don't know where bonkers came from.
That's okay. If it makes you feel better, I didn't notice. Or
Good.
didn't care.
That's good. No one's listening anyway.
Oh,
I mean, you
so
or me to each other.
we're I was watching comedians in cars getting coffee. Have you ever seen that on Netflix with
love it. Yeah, with Jerry Seinfeld. Fantastic.
did you ever see the Will Ferrell one?
I have.
Did you notice Will Ferrell and I have something very much in common?
Well, that doesn't surprise me one, but let's hear it.
He doesn't watch movies.
Well,
Jerry Seinfeld was driving down there. Say, hey, did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? Nope. Never heard of it. Never seen it. Never nothing.
I don't remember that.
Me and Will Ferrell.
Well, that explains a lot. Because
Both lunatics.
Right.
Right.
That's the second time Will Ferrell came up today in my life. This is very weird. So yeah, no, but
doesn't watch movies.
I think you're both weirdos then.
That's fine.
What does he do with his time?
He's Will Ferrell. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do. Why would you want to watch movies?
So then what do you do with your time if you're Rob Crane?
What do I do with my time? I literally
build ballparks.
I'm
build
on
ballparks.
a computer at night.
Where's your when we can do this again, where's your first vacation going to be? Where are you going?
When we do where?
Like when we're allowed to go on vacations again, where like, have you thought about this? Like, I need to get a vacation. This is where I'm going to go next.
No, not really. I probably will think that we'll go to the Cape. I don't think that the only other thing that I could think that I want to do during the winter is I'd like to next winter go like on a golfing trip.
Just down south.
Like on a golf, yeah, just like on a
or
weekend.
out west. Oh, yeah. San Diego.
Right, could go to San Diego. And like I'd like to go like on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and come back early Monday or something like that. I'd love to do a golf trip. And then my in-laws, they go to Florida during the winter. Not this year, but they typically go to Florida. And we've gone there 2 or 3 times. I'd like to head to Florida in like February.
I told Rachel next year, this past weekend next year, I'm going to Waste Management, and then I'm going over to Vegas for the Super Bowl.
Oh man, that would be amazing.
So if you want in, let's go.
That would be amazing.
Waste Management for the Thursday, Friday, and then head to Vegas on Saturday, Sunday for the Super Bowl, and fly back on Monday.
What a great idea. How far is Phoenix from Vegas? Can you drive it or no?
You could, but I would probably fly it. Like what?
Yeah, right. It's like an hour. Or whatever.
It's probably like $110 flight.
Yeah, right.
That'd be sick. But we've talked about the driving places when you fly to places, right? Like, oh, I'll fly to Miami and drive to the Keys. No, I'll just get on a plane and cut out.
Just go.
Like,
don't.
Plus, that drive, there's nothing between Phoenix and Vegas. Like literally nothing. You could probably do $125 if you wanted, but like, no. So yeah, that's the plan right now, is a little Waste Management to a Vegas Super Bowl.
Sounds amazing.
By the way, I don't think I'll be the only one with that idea.
Yeah, right. You're definitely not. And they had some people in there. By the way, watching Jordan Spieth kind of get back at it until he kind of blew up on the last day, but that was fun to watch. I watched Brooks. I love this stuff. So I bet Brooks kept chipping on 16 or 17, something like that.
17 to win it. Yeah.
Right.
All right. It's late. It's 10 o'clock, 10:10.
We're getting old, and I still have like
work to do.
Yeah, lots of it.
Oh, we have an interview tomorrow.
We do. We're going to talk to the CEO of Spikeball.
We are the CEO, founder of Spikeball, and then also we will be releasing an interview with a Celtics employee in the probably next week.
Yeah, great. That'll be great too. So you've been doing a great job with all of these interviews. So I appreciate you doing that. So thank you.
I appreciate you're appreciating me.
Okay, weird. Anyway, I'll see you Thursday and I'll talk to you a couple times coming up.
Later.